And then this guy with his lights that just flashed on me.
Camping is meant to be a peaceful escape into nature, a time to relax, unwind, and enjoy the great outdoors. But sometimes the wilderness hides more than just wildlife. In this video, we're counting down the 6 most disturbing camping encounters ever caught on camera. These terrifying moments will make you think twice before venturing into the wild alone. Discovery is a channel renowned for its thrilling explorations and spine-chilling wildlife encounters. For this group of adventurers, tonight was supposed to be no different. It was April 19th, 2021. A warm and peaceful evening deep in Africa's untamed wilderness. A night that promised tranquility. For these explorers, it was just another night. They had no idea their calm was about to be shattered. A lion pride gathered right outside their tent, with nothing but the thin fabric of the tent separating them from the mighty predators. And then it happened. The alpha lion attempted to push its way into one of the explorers' tents. Luckily for them, a part of the tent collapsed onto the lion, startling it and sending the predator fleeing. The explorers sat in complete silence inside their tent for what felt like an eternity, 30 long minutes, until the lion pride finally moved on. They had narrowly escaped what could have been a far more sinister outcome. Imagine being there, deep in the wilderness, knowing you're surrounded by some of the most dangerous predators on Earth. What would go through your mind? Would you remain silent? Or would panic set in? In the wild, survival is never guaranteed. It's a world of balance, one moment calm, the next filled with danger. This night was a stark reminder that out there, anything can happen. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and to thank you for being part of this horror-loving community, we're giving away a special gift once we hit that milestone. If you haven't already, subscribe now, turn on notifications, and stay tuned, because things are about to get even scarier. Allison Sharp, the creator behind the YouTube channel Travel Snacks, takes us along on one of her solo camping adventures in her trusty camper van. It's January 10th, 2023, in Bossier City, Louisiana. After a long day of driving, she finally finds what seems like a safe spot to park for the night. But little does she know, her peaceful evening is about to take a frightening turn.
This guy just tried to walk up to me. So, just... And then this guy with his lights that just flashed on me.
As night descends, an unsettling feeling creeps in. Allison notices a man approaching her van, his intentions unclear. He tries to harass her, but with the doors securely locked, he's left outside, frustrated. While the man eventually walks away, Allison's sense of safety is shattered. She can't shake the fear that he's watching her, lurking outside her van.
Where did he go?
Hours pass, but Allison's fear only grows. Alone in her van, she keeps one eye on the man's last known location, hoping he doesn't notice her watching. After what feels like an eternity of fear inside her van, the man finally seems to leave the parking lot. Yet, the sense of danger clings to Allison throughout the night, refusing to fade until the first light of morning. Thankfully, she made it through safely, but the memory of that terrifying encounter is something she'll never forget. It's September 4th, 2024, and Chamos, the Spanish YouTuber known for his daring investigations across Spain, is deep in the wilderness, ready for another adventure. Joined by his friends Jafinho and Jada, they were searching for a place to camp, but something stopped them before they could even begin.
Pera aí, vamos ver se a gente escuta de novo. Oh, meu Deus do céu, velho, meu Deus. Meu Deus do céu.
Suddenly, from the dark, they heard a woman's voice crying out for help. The air grew thick with tension. What was happening out there? With no cell phone service this far into the forest, they knew they couldn't just leave. They had to search for her before it was maybe too late.
Peraí.
Moça! Olha aí, velho!
É pra cá. Mano.
É pra cá, velho!
Calma, tô indo pra lá, cara.
They searched, calling out into the darkness, but the woman didn't answer. Instead, they heard something else, a faint cough coming from deep within the forest. Their worry grew as they realized this woman was in real danger.
Peraí, vamos fazer silêncio de novo pra ver se a gente... Peraí, Jefinho, peraí, vamos ver se a gente escuta de novo, peraí. Parece que tá tão perto. Pra lá.
Vamos ficar bem fechada a mata aqui, cara. Tem um tronco caído aqui. Uma árvore caída aqui. Não, tem que olhar pra baixo, onde eu tô andando. Não, mas... Cara, aí.
Ó. Moça!
Moça! Eu achei um negócio aqui, velho.
O que tu achou?
Eu achei um negócio aqui, velho. De tênis, mano. Um pé de tênis aqui, ó. Isso.
Moça.
A shoe, abandoned in the dirt, signaled they were close now, and the coughs were getting louder. What they found next was worse than anything they could have imagined.
Olha aqui,
Onde, cara?
Moça do céu. Meu Deus do céu, velho. Meu Deus do céu. Moça. Meu Deus. Calma. Moça, meu Deus do céu, cara. Tá amarrada. Calma. Cara, ajuda.
There she was, tied to a tree, unable to move, barely able to speak. They wasted no time, frantically untying the ropes that held her captive. With what little strength she had left, she explained that a man with a gun had attacked her early in the morning while she was on her way to work. He hit her, stole her belongings, and brought her to the forest where he tied her to a tree and left her for dead. It was already midnight now. She had been there for hours, waiting, hoping someone would find her before it was too late.
Mas ele era cara alto.
Ela tá traumatizada.
Tá. Não, então tá, mas...
Ele tinha voz grossa.
Vamos fazer o seguinte, a gente leva ela pro carro, deixa ela se acalmar, dá um pouco de água pra ela. Cara, ela tá desde as 4 e pouco aqui, velho.
Ela tá desidratada,
Claro,
tem saída?
The man had told her he would return, which meant they had to get out of there as fast as possible. With no time to waste, they searched for the way back to their car, desperate to reach safety before the man returned. Later, the police were called, and they handled the situation further. It's unknown if the man has been arrested, but we know for sure that the woman is traumatized for the rest of her life. This is Nikki, the face behind the YouTube channel Nikki TV. Through her videos, she takes her audience on immersive car camping trips in her Toyota 4Runner, showcasing both the beauty and challenges of solo outdoor adventures. With her genuine storytelling and practical insights, Nikki captivates her viewers with authentic wilderness experiences. However, on her inaugural camping trip of 2025, she was about to discover just how unpredictable and eerie these outdoor excursions could be. On January 31st, 2025, Nikki arrived at a secluded campground, excited to begin her first camping adventure of the year after recovering from pneumonia. Armed with only her camera and camping gear, she was eager to capture whatever the night had in store.
If you are new here, I'm Nikki, and this is Nikki TV. As you can see from the mess behind me, I just came home from work a couple hours ago and just threw everything at the back of the 4Runner. took out the bed platform, threw in a tent and a chair and some things, and we're hitting the road.
The video started with Nikki sharing her recent health struggles and her enthusiasm for returning to the outdoors after being stuck indoors for most of January. Her excitement was evident as she spoke, setting the stage for what would soon turn into a disturbing experience.
Well, we made it to camp, so let's get set up.
Upon arriving at her campsite, Nikki immediately began setting up, unaware of the disruptions that were about to unfold. She organized her gear with the precision of an experienced camper. At the start of the video, she pointed out 2 picnic tables positioned side by side. Asking her viewers to remember them, as they would play a role in a strange event later on.
You know, it never ceases to amaze me whenever I go camping in the winter. I'm expecting to really not see many people, but when I get to my spot, there's like, I'm like in shock at how many people's winter camping.
As Nikki continued setting up her tent, something else caught her eye. Despite hoping for solitude on her winter camping trip, she was surprised to see a number of fellow campers nearby. It always amazed her how many people she encountered during winter camping. Little did she know, this unexpected crowd would soon become a cause for concern. With careful attention, Nikki arranged her sleeping area, layering padding to protect herself from the cold ground. Once everything was set up, she looked over her campsite with satisfaction, still oblivious to the disturbance about to take place. Just a few minutes into her setup, another camper approached and struck up a conversation. They chatted about various gadgets, but despite only speaking to one person, Nikki couldn't shake the uneasy feeling of relying on someone else in the wilderness.
I won't bother you at all, but I do start my van every once in a while. I didn't set up my tent because it's pretty wet, obviously.
Yeah.
So if I bother you, just let me know.
You're fine, because if I get too cold, I'm hopping my butt right in the back of that 4Runner.
Okay.
And if you hear me talking, I promise I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to a GoPro.
Well, I talk to myself.
Well, I mean, I'm basically talking to myself. I still want you to think.
Just as long as you know, if you hear me out, and especially if I got my headphones on,
Yeah.
and I'm rocking, if I say, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're totally fine.
Throughout the afternoon, she stayed busy preparing a meal and adding final touches to her campsite.
Electricity here or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Hopefully we're counting on it.
So, a group of people with a bunch of teenage boys just started setting up.
However, as the day wore on, the peaceful environment was disturbed by a group of people who arrived with a pack of teenage boys, setting up their tents uncomfortably close to Nikki's site. What followed sent a wave of anxiety through her. The group claimed they had reserved not only her campsite, but also the one next to it.
I'll tell you what, people are just rude anymore. I had to take everything out of my tent and put it back into the 4Runner because these men showed up with 4 different vehicles.
They came towards her, asserting that there had been a mix-up with the reservation system. But with the ranger station shut down, Nikki had no way to verify their claims.
First they told me that they had booked this site and the site beside of me, and that there must have been some misunderstanding, but the problem is that the office is now closed. So I looked at him and I was like, well, you know, I've already been here for a couple hours. My name's on the post. The because they put little tags on the post at each campsite, and they put the dates that you're going to be arriving and the date that you're going to be leaving. So my name is on the tag that's on the campsite post, and it says that I'll be coming in today and leaving tomorrow. So, you know, I looked at him and said, well, I booked this site. It was available. The website allowed me to book the site. If the site was taken, it would have shown me that it was unavailable, and it wouldn't allowed me to get the site.
Despite presenting evidence of her own reservation, the tension only grew. 4 cars, 3 men, and their loud sons and grandsons made their presence known. Nikki's voice revealed her growing discomfort as she spoke about the situation. What unsettled her most wasn't just their presence, but their decision to set up camp just 20 feet away from her tent. This intentional closeness raised red flags for Nikki, making her reconsider her plans for safety. She decided to leave her tent outside and stowed her belongings in the back of her 4Runner, opting to spend the night there instead. The night passed without incident as Nikki stayed safely inside her car. However, the morning brought its own set of challenges.
We woke up to rain, which I knew there was going to be a chance of. So looks like we're going to be packing up in the rain, which is okay. I didn't bring my raincoat or my poncho, but it'll be okay.
After packing up her tent the next day, Nikki set out for a hike on the icy trails near her campsite, desperately trying to salvage some enjoyment from the trip despite the previous night's unsettling experience.
I'm just gonna go for a hike and then come back and have my coffee and breakfast right here instead of stopping at a rest stop. I kind of feel like that would be a better option than having to stop somewhere else when I'm already here. And as you can see, there's nobody here. Maybe 1 or 2 cars. Well, solid sheet of ice. And I left my walking sticks in the 4Runner. Just slide right off of there into the water. I hope not.
Although Nikki made it through the night unscathed, one question lingered. What were these men's real intentions? Was it simply a reservation mix-up, or was there something more sinister behind their insistence on camping so close to a solo female? The truth behind that encounter remains a mystery. While supernatural experiences can be terrifying, it is often other humans who pose the greatest danger in isolated areas. You can never truly know someone's true motives or what they are capable of. Fortunately, Nikki's quick thinking and decision to retreat to her vehicle kept her safe throughout the night. Marshall is a man who loves building shelters and spending time in the woods. His building skills are both fascinating and impressive, and he often spends the night camping in these shelters. But, of course, you're never truly alone in the woods when you decide to sleep there. It's like staying in someone else's home, the wild animals that call the forest their own. In this video, he's once again out in the woods, building his latest shelter. He started cooking some food, letting the smell drift through the air. After enjoying his meal, the night had already fallen, and he settled in to sleep. But soon enough, he'd have some unexpected visitors knocking at his door. The bears were probably drawn to the smell of the food he'd been cooking earlier. After not finding anything, they eventually decided to leave. While that could have been a very dangerous situation, he chose to stay inside. After a while, he decided to venture outside to see what was going on. He didn't find anything, but later, when he checked the camera he had left outside, he realized just how close he was to danger. If something like this ever happens to you, never go outside, not even if you can't hear anything anymore. Stay in your shelter until morning. Only when you're sure you're safe should you step outside. Luke is an avid outdoor enthusiast, known for his detailed gear reviews, ranging from tents to backpacks and hiking jackets. His love for the outdoors keeps him camping often, not just for work, but because it's something he's truly passionate about. This time, he's tackling the rugged terrain of a mountain called Devil's Throne.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. Welcome to the Devil's Throne. This is an episode that a lot of people have been looking forward to, and that includes myself. This is a very odd location. Strange things happen here. This is my 4th time to the Devil's Throne over the years, and every single time I've experienced some odd things. Already, I've had 2 experiences just coming up the mountain here. I'm not alone up here. Something is with me. I hear footsteps, I drop my pack, I take off running, I can find nothing. I make it back to my pack, I'm hearing footsteps again.
Before even stepping foot on the mountain, something strange catches Luke's attention. Eerie sounds, unexplainable and unsettling, echo through the landscape. It wasn't just the wind or the rustling of the leaves, it was footsteps. Clear, deliberate footsteps right in front of him, yet there was no one to be seen. Honestly, if it were me, I'd be heading back to the car without a second thought. But Luke, he's determined to stay the night. And this is just the beginning. The strange occurrences are far from over.
This large rock structure, everyone, is the Devil's Throne. Basically, it's a series of rocks stacked on top of each other, jutting off and over this mountaintop. It is extremely cool. At the same time, because of the size of this, it offers a ton of protection. So, when you're underneath this gigantic rock, it could be storming outside, and underneath here, you will stay dry. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be water present, though. This entire area will flood. We are protected from the rain above us coming down, but there will be a lot of water coming through here. Not like a river or a creek or anything, but...
After a long hike, Luke finally sits down to enjoy a drink, listening to the peaceful silence. The wind gently rustles the trees, and everything feels calm, almost unreal. But that calm doesn't last long.
I wish I could tell you all what that is, but I do not know. Like, it's like just out of my reach as far as my hearing goes, you know? It's like one of those things where, like, I feel like I could tell what it was if it was just a little bit louder, but I can't. It sounds weird though, that's for sure. Not once today have I felt like I was alone up here. When I was hiking up the mountain, I heard footsteps. I heard that strange noise. I hear it again now. This is part 4 of the Devil's Throne series, and likely it'll be the last part. I wanted to come up here, spend the night, see what happens, and I will share with you all my experiences. Already a bit strange, you know what I mean?
It's in that moment that Luke starts to truly feel that he's not alone. As night falls, he begins preparing his meal, trying to brush off the uneasy feeling. But then, it happens again. This time, the footsteps sound closer.
I am still hearing that sound. It's pretty loud too. Closer. Unfortunately, it's too foggy, the rocks are too wet to go mess around in the dark. I have to stay right here. Basically, I'm hunkered down for the night. That is so weird. I mean, what the hell is that? I have no idea. But I certainly don't feel like I'm alone out here. Whatever it is will have to come to me because there's no way that I can go to it. So come on down. There's that noise again. Every time I hear it, it sounds like it's in a different place. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be coming any closer. Like when we were eating, it was pretty loud, but now it's fairly far off. And that makes it kind of strange, you know what I mean? I don't know.
There are stories from other hikers who claim to have seen a large black creature roaming the mountain with unsettling black eyes. It's said that a witch once lived at the summit, and her black eyes are said to still haunt the area. Over the years, people have reported strange paranormal occurrences, some even claiming to feel an invisible force pushing them toward the cliff's edge. But those footsteps, they remain a mystery. It's not likely to be Bigfoot or anything like that, but it's an encounter that might make anyone rethink camping alone again. This is Oliver, a YouTuber you might know from his channel Firefly Fishing. His videos focus on the one thing he loves most, fly fishing in beautiful remote areas. This time, he's headed to one of the most famous parks in America, Yellowstone National Park.
Well, if you guys have never been to Yellowstone National Park, welcome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We have a sweet adventure in front of us today. Gonna go explore some rivers, explore some hikes, and not block the Yellowstone sign anymore. So let's get out of here.
Yellowstone, the first national park in the world, is known for its vast 2.2 million acres, geothermal features like Old Faithful, and stunning landscapes filled with alpine rivers and forests. It's the perfect place for a peaceful fishing adventure. It's July 29th, 2022, and Oliver drives through the park, eventually arriving at the Yellowstone River. The day is sunny and warm, and after hours of fishing with no luck, just as he's about to call it a day, he catches a beautiful fish.
Wow, it's been a long day, guys. Not a whole lot of luck fishing. However, can't beat being in Yellowstone National Park.
Exhausted, he decides to head back to his car and find a place to park for the night. Despite knowing it's illegal to camp outside designated areas, he pushes on.
It's about the best we got, guys. There's not a whole lot of cover, so if someone comes down here, I mean, we are sticking out in the open. I'm not gonna dare go off any side trail or anything like that. We're gonna stay here.
After driving for a while, Oliver finds a quiet, secluded spot in the woods to park his camper.
Nice, look at this beautiful spot. Riverside camping, guys, in Yellowstone. Can't really beat that. Wow. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get back to the truck. Just take it easy for the rest of the night.
Ready to call it a night, he settles in for some sleep, unaware that his peaceful evening is about to be interrupted.
Just for the last little bit here. It just got dark here, so I decided to hop in the back of the truck now, as I was getting pretty terrified with the grizzlies and all that good stuff, guys. Fingers crossed nothing happens in the rest of the night. It's been a pretty good night so far, pretty good day. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's been an awesome adventure. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and I'll wake you up if anything else goes on the rest of the night, but I think we're looking all right, so.
Around 12:30 a.m., Oliver is suddenly jolted awake by the sound of a car approaching. Grabbing his bear spray and phone, he prepares for the worst. A loud knock on his truck and a flashlight shining through the window leaves him terrified. Unsure who is outside, he stays silent.
Hey, anyone vehicle, Officer Tyler. You're here, man. How are you? Coming, sir.
Hey, dude, sorry to bother you, man. It's a little late.
No worries.
Unfortunately, there's no camping in here. Are you the only one in the vehicle, brother?
It's just me, man.
All right, can you step out? You got a license on you, brother?
Dude, I'll have to get my wallet, man.
Do anything? You okay?
Yeah,
Where you from,
man,
brother?
just, actually out of Boise. Just doing some camping. I did not know it was illegal.
Yeah, dude. So unfortunately, you can't camp in Yellowstone at this place. You're gonna have to. Yeah.
No problem. I do apologize.
No, you're good. Can you see ID, brother?
Yeah, here.
But soon enough, it becomes clear. It's a park ranger doing his routine patrol. Oliver plays it off, pretending he didn't know camping here was prohibited. Fortunately, he gets away with just a warning.
Well, that was absolutely terrifying. I'm so thankful we got off with a warning there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Do I recommend stealth camping Yellowstone? Absolutely not. So, anyways, guys, I will see you in the next one.
Well, that was absolutely terrifying, he says, relieved. Oliver drives out of Yellowstone, vowing never to return, at least not for stealth camping again. What do you think was the most disturbing encounter on this list? Have you ever experienced something unexplainable while camping? Let us know in the comments below.